Hi, welcome to the Virgo class of the Solar Series, where I'm doing a yoga class inspired by each sign of the Zodiac. Virgo is the part of the sky that the sun is transiting through at the end of the summertime. There are 12 signs of the Zodiac and 4 seasons, so each of the seasons are divided into the beginning, the middle, and the end. Signs at the end are ascribed what we call in Western astrology a mutable quality. So it has this kind of synthesizing quality to it. We move from fiery sign of Leo, bold and bright, into a more introverted, grounded time of the year. Virgo is represented as the hermit or the witch. We think of crafting recipes and organizing ourselves as the days become shorter. We're preparing for longer nights. The end of Virgo season is the autumn equinox, one of 2 times of the year when the daytime and the nighttime are equal amounts of time. So today's movement class is going to be inspired by this energy. We're going to be staying low to the ground. We'll be doing some moving into the hips. It's a gentle class. You don't really need anything, but you're welcome to take any blocks or any props that might help you. It's nice to have something to bring the ground a little closer to you for parts of the body that are having trouble reaching there. Maybe some pillows, a blanket. Set up your space so that you're comfortable, and I'll meet you here when you're ready. We'll start out in a seated position today, both sitting bones down on the floor, or again, maybe a block or a pillow if it's difficult to sit like this. Legs can be crossed or maybe one ankle in front of the other. And we'll go ahead and shift the gaze a little closer to the body. So we're just holding space for ourselves, seeing if we can witness the body going through the transformation that it naturally does, the heart beating, the lungs moving. We see if we can slow down the thoughts and take the seat of the witness, observing without judgment or comparison. Narrowing the breathing down to the nostrils and slowing down the breath. You can place the hands, palms face down over the knees, and root the sitting bones down deep into the earth. From that rooted place, you can find a nice tall spine. Tucking the chin in slightly, crown of the head shines upwards. We'll start with some neck stretches here. We'll just bring the right ear to the right shoulder, towards the right shoulder. And you might stay here, or you could lift the chin up and then tuck the chin down like you're making a slow yes movement. Seeing if we can reveal some tension here, or seeing if we can accept what we're finding in the body. One more. And then we'll come back up to center here and then bring the left ear to the left shoulder. And breathing into what we found, you might bring a couple of nods, slow, lifting the chin up and away, and then tucking the chin in as we stretch the right side of the neck. Go for about 2 more here. Moving as slowly as we can, staying curious. And then we'll bring the head back up to center. Again, we'll bring the right ear to the right shoulder, but this time we'll turn the chin towards the shoulder and then rotate the chin up towards the ceiling. So it's like we're making a no movement with a stretch on the left side of the neck. We rarely turn our neck in regular day-to-day life, so there might be a lot of kind of sticky spots. The body becomes more used to these movements when we practice them. So if it's something that's new to you, go easy on yourself. Recognize that we are going through process and it might be something new. All right, we'll come back up to center from here, and then left ear to left shoulder. We'll do the same thing, turning the head in a no shape. You can go as wide of a range as is available, or you could have a shorter range, totally up to you. Every day is different. We'll do maybe 1 or 2 more here. And then we'll come back up to center. All right, very nice. We'll just get a little twist in from here. We can look over the right shoulder, keeping both shoulders pointing forward, and then we'll come back up to center and twist over to the left. Just one like that. And we'll come to center, we'll look up with the chin, and then tuck the chin in, lift the heart up towards the chin. All right. We'll bring some movements into the spine here, going down the neck. We'll round the spine, so we're sitting behind the sitting bones, hands are over the knees. And then puff the heart forward, pull the elbows and shoulder blades together behind the back, maybe looking up, and then round the spine again. So you can puff the chest forward for an inhale, breathing in, and exhale to round the spine, tucking the tail under. We'll do about 2 more here. Last one. All right, and then we'll find our neutral spine here, and we'll shift the ribs over to the right. So keeping both sitting bones down, we'll come back to center and shift the ribs over to the left. So we're just finding a stretch for the sides of the body, a little bit of a side stretch, not an entire kind of side stretch here. We're more moving into the hips. Inhale, center, and last side. All right, we'll come back to center, and we're gonna incorporate all 4 of these movements. So we'll bring the ribs over to the right, and then heart pulls forward. We'll come to the left and then round ourselves back. So we're making a big circle, inhaling to come forward, exhaling to round back. See if you can keep your sitting bones rooted the entire time. So you've got a really stable base, like your spine is a wooden spoon stirring the pelvis. You can think of the witch here, stirring a cauldron, moving really slowly, degunking anything in the body. Stay curious, stay observing the body without judgment. One more turn here. And then we'll find our stable center, and we'll go the opposite direction. So ribs will start at the left, we'll come forward, circle to the right, and then round back. Inhales pull us forward. Exhales round us back. Be sure to keep the sitting bones rooted down as best as you can. Try to stay in control of the movement without rushing, accepting the mundane. For 4, 3, heart forward, elbows together, rounding back. Last 2. And final turn here, take it nice and slow. All right, we'll find our nice tall spine, and we'll change our seated position from here. Bring the hands behind the back to support here. And we'll bring both feet onto the floor nice and wide. We're just going to do a little windshield wiper with the knees, so we can bring both knees to the right and then back to center and to the left. Just rinsing out the hips a little bit. So we've got external rotation in one hip and then internally rotating in the other. We'll bring both knees to the right and we'll pause here. Flex into the feet. You have an option to walk yourselves over to the right knee, right shin, and see if you can bring the chest towards that right shin. This is called deer pose. So we want to avoid a rounding in the spine as we get there. We're moving into the hips. You might walk yourself further down. We'll do about 4 breaths. Long exhalations. Be sure to relax the jaw as we move into the hips. The jaw is intimately connected with the hips, so any effort that we make to relax the jaw, in effect, does relax the hips as well. Take your last round of breath here. Stay if you're feeling it. When you're ready, we'll walk ourselves back up, hands behind the back again. We'll switch both knees to the left. We want to have almost like a square shape with the legs. So the right thigh and the left shin are parallel. 90 degrees with the legs, and maybe we walk ourselves over into this left hip. Again, we're avoiding a rounding in the spine, so we're pulling the heart forward, shoulders behind, away from the ears. You might choose to walk yourself a little deeper into the stretch. Long exhalations for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we'll walk ourselves back up if you're there, bringing the hands back behind the back, bringing the knees back up. From here, we'll lengthen out the legs a bit. Legs don't have to be totally straight. We could keep a little bit of a bend. Here, you might find yourself rounded behind the sitting bones. We want to do the opposite, heart forward. So you might walk the hands a little closer, lifting the heart up so you're finding a bit of an arched spine. Moving into the hips here. Maybe bringing the hands in front of the sitting bones if we can avoid that rounding. And if it helps to bring movement incorporated with the breath, we might inhale to puff the heart forward and exhale slightly round. Rather relax the back. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, relax. 2 more. And of course, if legs straight is accessible for you, you're welcome to. If you like to bring yourself all the way forward, if you have the space, you're welcome to do that as well. You can stay again if you like. Pause the video at any point. If you're feeling a certain pose, something speaking to you. From here, we'll bring a little side stretch. So we'll bend into the right knee. You can use the hand to bring the right foot towards the inside of the left leg. The left leg, of course, can be extended, or you can have a slight bend in it, whichever feels more comfortable for you. Both sitting bones are on the floor. We can bring the left hand to the inside of the left leg, or you have the option to cup the right knee with the left hand. So your choice, you could try either one. We're going to rotate the heart to face up towards the ceiling. You might stay here or reach the right hand up towards the ceiling. So with this reaching up, we also want to maintain a rooting down. So we reach the sitting bones down, root the sitting bones down, and reach the arm up. Stay breathing. One day leaning the arm so that it reaches towards the extended foot. Maybe one day holding on to that foot. We'll gently come back up. When you're ready, we can place the right hand behind the back, and then we'll circle the left arm over, lifting the hips up. So we're just doing a little back bend to rinse it out. Then we'll lower the hips back down, and we'll switch the legs. So same on the other side. The left foot is connected with the inner right thigh, and the right leg could be completely straight, or we could have a little bend, whatever feels nicer for you. Right hand arm can come on the inside of the right leg, or it might cup the opposite knee. We'll rotate the heart to face up towards the ceiling, and maybe reach the left arm up towards the ceiling, rooting the sitting bones down as we reach up. Maintain the breath. Welcome the sensations. That's the practice. For 2 and 1. We'll come back up. We'll place the left hand behind the back, circle the right arm up and around as we lift the hips up for a little back bend. And then we'll place the hips back down. And from here, we'll shift into our tabletop position. So hands are stacked underneath the shoulders, wrists under shoulders, middle fingers pointing forward. The knees are stacked directly underneath the hips with the middle toes pointing back. And we'll take a moment to just collapse into the joints. Let everything go. Let yourself be heavy. And on your next inhale, we'll press the floor away, creating space between the joints. Nice long spine, feeling the tops of the feet, the shins, the hands, pressing the floor away. And on your next exhale, you can release. Inhale to press away. One more. And press the floor away. So we want to see if we can maintain this pressing away from the ground in all of our asanas. Everything that's touching with the ground is evenly distributing the weight. Tops of the feet, the knees, the hands. From here, we'll tuck the toes under and hover the knees. And then we'll bring the hips back towards the heels and then lift the hips up. We're upside down in our downward facing dog here. You can pedal out the knees, right, left, right. We're pressing the floor away with strong arms out of the shoulders, out of the sides of the waist. The knees can stay as bent as we need. We want to prioritize the length of the spine over the length of the legs. You can spread the toes, take a look at the knees or the toes, and keep your gaze steady here. If being upside down is way too much for you, it is possible to continue flowing with us from your tabletop position. We'll bring the left foot to center, point the right toes back behind you, and lift the right leg up and back. Inhale. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, lift up and back. Exhale, connect right knee with right elbow, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, come up and back. And then we're going to step this right foot to the outside of the right hand. So this is our lizard pose. We could lower the knee down right underneath the hip, and this is where we would be if we were in the tabletop and we stepped the foot right outside of the hand. We might bring a little bit of spinal movement here, rounding the spine on an exhale, and lifting the sitting bones, pulling the heart through, arching on the inhale. Exhale to round. Inhale to arch. And we can do a few like that. Can be as exaggerated or as subtle as you like. You might stay doing this or tuck the toes under and lift the knee up. Coming back to that initial place, we can walk ourselves, kind of rock ourselves forward and back with the back toes, moving into the hips here. You could stay like this or lower the knee, thigh down further away. The knee can be wherever. Just a few more breaths here. You might like to add a twist on by reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling, maybe towards the back wall behind you. And we'll place the hands back down, tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee up, step back to plank, inhale, and then shift the hips back to downward facing dog, exhale. We'll do the opposite side. Pointing right toes back behind you, we'll lift the right leg up and back. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale up and back. Connect the elbow and knee on the left side. Inhale up and back. And we'll gently step the left foot outside the left hand. So again, we can lower the knee down right underneath the hip and move into the hips by using some spinal flexion and extension. Make sure the left foot is firmly rooted down. Big toe mound, pinky toe mound, and center of the heel. Rounding on the exhale and lifting on the inhale. Just seeing if we can accept the body today. Certainly takes practice. You could stay like this or tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee up. Work that back foot a little further back if you need, and you can rock yourself forward and back, bringing more weight into the hip. You might lower that back knee down eventually. And maybe we add a twist by reaching the left arm up to the ceiling, maybe to the back wall. And then both hands come down. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee up, step back to plank, inhale. And then shift back to downward facing dog, exhale. Here we're upside down. The head is below the heart. So it definitely is a shift in perspective. It's a different thing to embrace. Not something that we do every day unless we bring this into our everyday. From here, we'll pick up the heels, bend the knees, look forward, and you can step or hop both feet to the outsides of the hands, somewhere close to there. Make sure the feet are angled outwards, so the feet are in the same direction as the knees. We're in a squat here. We can bring the hands together in front of the heart. We'll flip the palms forward and up. Inhale. Exhale to straighten out the legs, and then release the hands out by the sides. Inhale, reach up. And then bring a prayer to the heart and sit back down in the squat. So feel free to take a nice wide stance here. See if you can get a tall spine and root the feet down evenly. Big toe mound, pinky toe mound, center of the heel. Embrace the heat, the grounding happening in the body. If you have the space in the hips, you might be able to sit all the way down. You're welcome to take something and place it underneath the hips as extra support. We're just gonna stay here for 3, breathing 2 and 1. All right, here we're going to reach the arms forward. You can round the spine. We're gonna see if we can sit our butts down. It's as graceful as we can make it. And if we plop ourselves down, it's a fun opportunity to kind of laugh at ourselves. We'll bring our hands behind the thighs from here, holding on behind the thighs, and we'll lengthen the arms out. So we're leaning the shoulders back, and then we'll lift the heart up. So that same arching shape in the spine, hug the navel in. This is our boat pose. Find the breath. Enjoy it. Gratitude for our working lungs here. You might stay here, prioritizing that integrity through the spine, heart lifting, navel in, a continuous lift of the heart. Next step would be to lift the feet up till the shins are parallel with the floor. You can stay holding on behind the thighs. Keep that integrity through the spine, navel in, heart lifting. Keep breathing. Keep the gaze close to you. You can stay like this or release the backs of the legs. And then when you're ready, we'll bring those feet back down. You can reach the arms forward, scoot yourself to the middle of the mat. Reach the arms forward to round the spine. We're reclining all the way down to the back from here. You might take a moment with the hands in the body somewhere. You can walk the feet a little wider and guide the knees in towards each other. Different relationship to gravity here. Finishing up with our last couple of poses, we'll walk the feet back underneath the knees. We'll lift the right foot up and point the right foot up towards the ceiling. Get a little rotation of the ankle here. You might like to interlace the fingers behind the back thigh. Leg doesn't have to be entirely straight. Once you've had enough, we'll flex into this lifted foot, the right foot, and connect the right ankle over the left knee. So we've got this figure 4 shape. You can place the hands over the hip bones, hip points, and we'll intend the right knee away from the face, away from the head. So we're encouraging an external rotation in the hip. Relax the jaw as best as you can. Explore long breaths. If you wanted a little more from here, you could pick the left foot off the floor and interlace the fingers either behind the left thigh or over the left shin. You can rock yourself a little bit side to side here if that feels nice for you. Last 4 breaths. Three. 2. And 1. Go ahead and release the left leg if you've got it. Left foot comes back onto the floor. And here we're just going to guide both knees, keeping the ankle exactly where it is. We'll guide both knees over towards the right. So the right knee might come down first. We certainly can use any blocks or props if this is really difficult. It's a bit of a twist. The low back may come up off of the mat with practice. It roots down more. And we can just place the hands on the body somewhere. We don't want to look for pain in the body. So if this is really painful, maybe you unhook the hips and just unhook the ankle And just let both knees relax towards the right. And then everyone will unhook the ankle from here, and then we'll bring both knees back up to center. And we'll just do the other side. Picking the left foot up, we can lengthen the left leg out towards the ceiling, maybe interlacing the fingers behind the thigh. You can rotate the ankle one direction and the other. And then we'll flex into this left foot, bring the left ankle over the right knee. Place the hands over the hip points and intend the left knee away from you, encouraging external rotation in the hip socket here. Stay present with the sensations you're feeling. Stay present with the body. Do not disengage. If you notice yourself, your mind wandering, bring it back. If you want a little more, you could lift the right foot up off the floor and interlace the fingers either behind the right thigh or over the left shin. Long exhalations. Relax the jaw. See if you can visualize the breath, perhaps giving it a color. Last 3 together. Release the foot if you've got it. Keep the right ankle hooked onto, the left ankle hooked onto the right knee, and we'll guide both knees over towards the left. There's internal rotation happening on the right hip. You can definitely use support for the knees. The knees don't also don't have to come all the way down. And if the ankle hooked over top of the knee is too much, certainly unhook it. You can bring the ankle down to the floor. Feel free to adjust yourself in any poses, in any yoga class, as often as you need. When you're ready, we'll bring both knees back up to center. And we'll bring the knees into the chest, holding on to each knee with each hand. You can open the knees wider, pulling them towards the armpits, rocking side to side. See if you can keep the whole spine on the floor, all the way down to the tailbone, up through the neck spine, so we're tucking the chin in slightly. You can get some rotations of the ankles here, spreading the toes, maybe squeezing them tight. This is a half happy baby. You can pull the knees towards the armpits, and at the same time you might push the knees into the hands. So there's 2 opposing actions happening. You can breathe into that. Of course, if the full happy baby is in your practice, you're welcome to take that by reaching between the knees to the big toes or the outsides of the feet. And if you've got that bind, the feet face up towards the ceiling. You're welcome to lengthen one leg out at a time. If you've got the full happy baby, stay there for as long as you like. When you're ready, we'll release. We'll bring both feet down to the floor, and we'll finish up with a Supta Baddha Konasana. So here, again, support underneath by the hips is nice. We'll just open the knees out to the sides, bringing the soles of the feet together. You can place the hands over the hips again here. Breathing into the space between the hands. As if there was a lung. Relaxing the face. Relaxing the jaw. Feeling the feet pressing together, touching with each other. If the mind has wandered, be sure to bring it back. And you're welcome to stay here for the final rest portion of the class, the Shavasana. Traditionally, we would close the knees up and either keep the feet on the floor, maybe feet wide, knees together, or extend the legs to either corner of the mat. You might have support underneath the knees if that's nice for us. You can keep the hands, palms face down on the body, or bring the palms to face up alongside the body, backs of the hands on the floor. Take up as much space as you like. Here we release the effort, we release the control of the breath, and we allow ourselves to rest here, taking up space, practicing doing nothing. This gives the body an opportunity to integrate the lessons that it's learned, and also tells the body that when it works hard, it gets to rest, so it's more enticed to work hard the next time. Detach the tongue from the roof of the mouth, softening the face even more. Our practice closes here. Please stay laying here for as long as you like. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you for joining me today. Peace.